Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the September 2021 Discmemberment. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And it's only a 4-week month for discs, that is, in September. Literally, think about it. The first disc of the month comes out on September 7th. Just the way it falls like that. That first Tuesday is a
late
September.
Discmemberment, yeah.
Yeah, it's like right in. And then think about it. Like 6 days after that. 4 days after that, you and I will be at Halloween Horror Nights.
That's right.
God willing, with everything.
Yes, we're like paranoid that something's going to happen
between storms, getting sick, or something. But I feel like if we don't think about it all, we need to think about every worst case scenario to hopefully prevent it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my philosophy. I go into that philosophy. That's how my philosophy of life is. And it's funny. Julie always says, Julie's the exact opposite. She doesn't worry until there's something to worry about. So it's funny when I'm worried about this. She goes, "Why do you worry about this?" I'm like, I have to worry about everything. And she goes, but don't. It's just, don't worry about it until it happens. I said, I'm not wired that way. I said, I am wired. My family is wired to know, literally, we can go off like I feel like, okay, you know that meme where it shows Charlie Day and he's doing all the math?
Yeah.
And he's moving his hands around and all. That's what goes through my mind anytime something good is going to happen. I think of all the 82,000 things. I look like the spaghetti model of a hurricane, of all the possible things that can go wrong. That's just the way I am.
Well, but hopefully, I think we're gonna have a great time. It sounds like Halloween Horror Nights is going to be just fantastic, even though they are taking COVID precautions. We did learn that they're going to have plexiglass in the houses.
I'm okay with that, though, because I don't want these people to be, unsafe when, for our entertainment, I feel bad. I mean, the same reason why I wear masks to protect other people, I don't want to, accidentally, we'll be wearing our masks anyway. I mean, so we'll be double for them. They'll be happy for us. They'll probably be I just hope they're just not so grateful to us. They stop the skit and, say, hey, thank you, because that'd be a little odd for Leatherface to say it like that.
I think it's going to help, oddly enough, that, we were always a little concerned how Joshua was going to handle it. Wasn't too worried about Anna, but, Josh was still a little young. And I think it's actually going to help because then he'll have the knowledge that they literally can't touch him. They can't. There's always going to be a barrier between him and the scare actor.
Yeah, so and the way I saw it too is it's up the way they do it is the glass isn't it's not you're walking through a thing and it's one of those those booths,
yeah, it's not like an aquarium or anything.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's it's kind of just up in the areas where their heads will be for certain scenes. So it's weird. It's from what I saw last year's clip. So it's they could still kind of reach out under, but not enough that they can only get so close to you. So if he walks right in the center of whatever hallway we're going through, they're not gonna get anywhere near him, which is good. Because remember, they got close last year, the last time we went, where they would get it kind of right by your face. I remember I got not grabbed, but hit by whatever the pieces of that, the seeds of extinction, what they were wearing, that costume.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to do a good job of blending it in too. I think they're going to try to not make it too obvious.
Yeah. I mean, Leatherface wears a mask anyway, so.
That's right.
I just wonder if his human face that he'll use will be someone that was doing COVID protocol, and it'll come pre-masked this year. That would be kind of.
That'd be pretty funny.
Wouldn't it be?
That's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for. We should start seeing reviews rolling out, shortly before we leave.
Yeah, and we have some friends will be there that week too, so we'll get an honest review that we know we can 100% trust. They're not. Not that I'm saying like that, bloggers go down there in order to review, but I'm like I get caught in the glow. So so if I get someone, one of our friends telling us like, oh yeah, no, this is what it is, I feel confident.
And we know plenty of jaded coaster fans that can give us the straight truth.
Oh yeah, they will give it to us if it's bad. They will let us know. But you know what I think would be funny though, if in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because I'm sure they're gonna have the dinner scene as one of the things you walk by. It'd be hilarious if. That scene where, they're trying to feed Grandpa and it's just falling out. It's because he's wearing a mask. How great would that be? They just keep trying to feed him through the mask. That would be like a nice tongue-in-cheek way to kind of say universal. Like, we're keeping it safe. We still have the humor that HHN seems to deliver along with the scares. I think that would be a nice touch. If it is, by the way, I'm going to, I deserve a shout-out.
That's right.
They do it that way, but...
All right, well, let's get into our September releases for the Blu-ray front. Pretty good month this month. We have some pretty neat collector's editions coming out, and probably some stuff that's going to force me to double dip, as we will see soon.
Yeah, there's going to be some double dipping.
But let's get things kicked off with the week of September 7th. We have 5 releases this week. We're going to skip over our pick of the week, which is first on the list, and go straight to Kino Lorber's Theater of Blood from 1973. A Shakespearean actor takes poetic revenge on the critics who denied him the Best Actor of the Year award. And, of course, this is a classic Vincent Price vehicle, one that I love. I watched a few years ago, I think, for the first time. And this one has a new audio commentary by screenwriter-producer Alan Spencer and an audio commentary by 2 film historians, Brian.
Oh, yes.
Our buddy David Del Val, which we know who he is. He is the look and sound alike of Frankie Avalon.
Yeah, and he does. And he's with a new guy though
I don't know anything about this Nick Redman guy.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, it is pronounced Nick Redman, like Neil Spiderman, as Chandler said it wasn't. But ironically, when someone is in danger, he converts into his not so secret alter ego, Red Man. So and he's a superhero that has no powers but wears an all red costume. So.
All right, nicely.
He tries.
Also has Trailers from Hell with Alan Spencer, 2 TV spots, 4 radio spots, reversible art, limited edition O-card, and theatrical trailer. And Brian, I looked up what an O-card was.
Oh, you did?
The O-card is the actual, from what I understand, don't rip me a new one if I get this wrong, but because I got tired of seeing this limited edition O-card. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's the actual sleeve that it's in. Like the outer sleeve is the O-card.
That's an O-card? Why don't they just call it outer sleeve?
I don't know, but that's what they call it, O-card.
That's odd. Yeah, because, your lobby cards. I know that, they have the miniaturized lobby cards.
That's what I thought this was, like some kind of version of that. But no, it's the actual, it's that sleeve where you're always talking about seeing people talking about the Shout Factory sleeves, and does anybody have sleeves for sale? That's what that is.
But that's so weird because they call them sleeves sometimes.
I know.
Too.
I don't know.
So weird. Huh.
Yeah, I learned something new. I finally just broke down and looked it up because I was tired of seeing it.
Well, yeah, this is a good deal, especially if the price is right on it. Of course, because Vincent Price is in that. And speaking of Price, we're going to segue right over to his next one on the list. It's this is his week for sure. I think these are individual releases from that.
They are
set.
Yes,
right?
they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, the next one up is Kino Lorber's The Tomb of Ligeia. And that's from 1964. It says, some years after having buried his beloved wife Ligeia, Verdun fell. Did he fall? No. Verdun fell meets and eventually marries the lovely lady Rowena. Fell is something of a recluse, living in a small part of now ruined abbey with his manservant Kenrick. Is that right? Kenrick?
He likes weird names, I guess.
Yeah, Kenrick as the only other occupant. He remains infatuated with his late wife and is convinced that she will return to him. While all goes well when first married, he returns to his odd behavior when they return to the abbey from their honeymoon. The memories of Ligeia continue to haunt him, as well as her promise that she would never die. So that's another Poe class. So Poe and Price, when you put them together, you're just going to get something good.
I was surprised I had not seen this one, considering it is a Poe adaptation and with Vincent Price, but I could not remember anything from this trailer. I don't think I've seen this one.
Well, my friend Paul did. He did the Poe Project. He was part of that, where they did short films on that, and he did Ligeia was his entry. So
I definitely want to see this one.
You have to check that out. You should. Let me see if I could dig up the link for that and show that to you. It was pretty good. So this one's got a good disc. pretty good disc. Got a new audio commentary from critic Tim Lucas, our buddy, our southern redneck gentleman. Who it just sounds so funny. We talk about these people as if we know them, and they probably all despise us at this point. Audio commentary also by producer director Roger Corman.
Now that's a good time. Anytime I love seeing any kind of interviews with Roger Corman. He's such a chill, laid back, but very intelligent and very, I don't know. I've really enjoyed every commentary and interview I've seen with him.
Has there been one with him and John Carpenter together? Can you imagine that? It'd be the most relaxed
awesome.
thing. The movie would be like an hour and a half
sleep.
long. The commentary would just extend into the next day. They'd just be like chilling and talking. But well, speaking of audio commentaries, we got a third one on here, Tim.
Wow.
And that one is by actress Elizabeth Shepard. Then we get trailers from Hell with Joe Dante. So I guess he was hanging out with Alan Spencer down in Hell there. Theatrical trailer and the limited edition O card for the first 2,500. So I know like I know Kino does that. What's the other one? Vinegar Syndrome does that. Sometimes like the first limited batch come with the special cover.
Yeah, I'm debating whether to pick these up separately or try to see what those box sets, or if they're even still in print, are going for. I know they reissued them at one point. Because they had gone out of print briefly and they reissued them. I don't know what this current status is, but I would love to have those. I'm a sucker for anything Vincent Price. So,
what if they'll ever do like a big one, like just instead of volume 1 and 2,
cool.
just like you know, like the Severin, like the Christopher Lee type of deal, or the Al Adam, one of those giant sets.
That'd be awesome.
We'll see.
We have next up from RLJ Entertainment, Great White from 2021, a fun-filled flight to a remote atoll, is that how you say that? Atoll?
Yes.
Turns into a nightmare for 5 passengers when their seaplane is destroyed in a freak accident and they are trapped on a raft 100 miles from shore with man-eating sharks lurking beneath the surface. And I put on my notes here, this looks like every other shark movie, which means I'm absolutely 100% in because I love shark movies. I loved The Shallows. I loved 40 Meters Down. I loved the second 40 Meters Down. I can't remember what it was called. You know, and there's
there were 3 of those, I think.
Yeah, there's like this, but there's like a...
Oh, no, it's Open Water had 3 of them, sorry.
Yeah, Open Water, which I like those too, but
yeah,
it's one of those where you've got like a class of shark movies that are like Sharknado and cheesy, like super cheesy shark movies, and then you have like this kind of like, I mean, top tier is obviously Jaws, but then you've got like this weird middle tier of like, they're not super low budget and they're not playing for laughs and they're actually kind of good, which is I put all the 40 Meters Down and those in there, and Open
like
Water.
Maybe like Deep Blue Sea, like the
Deep Blue Sea I'd put in there. And so this one looked like it was one of those. It looked like I would actually really, really like this one. So I'm definitely on board with this.
Yeah, and just when you thought it was safe for Katrina Bowden to go back in the water because she barely she didn't survive Piranha, and now she's going back. But
oh well.
Yeah, this one's okay. But you know what? I have to say, Universal is doing this one. So Universal and the shark movie.
No, it's RLJ Entertainment is doing this.
Oh,
one.
it is? Good. No, but I think that's who's producing. But I think Universal, like on the trailer, Universal had the tagline.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking at the next one over. You might be right.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but RLJ, that's usually the Shudder group, isn't it?
Yeah, they usually do the Shudder stuff.
That's interesting. Well, we'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh, it's Universal Shark. It's not going to work, but no. Next one is this one's definitely by Universal Studios in terms of release here, and that's You Should Have Left. It's from 2020. It says a screenwriter travels to a remote house in the Alps with his family so that he can write the sequel to his big hit film, but he begins to regret his decision after suffering from a severe case of writer's block. Now, that is a horrible description if you see the trailer. The trailer looks like there's a lot more underlying elements to this going on. Looks really cool though, because it's like 6 degrees of bacon and Blumhouse together. You know, it's like having a Blumhouse salad and then with extra bacon.
Yeah, and I'm so tired of this trope of this family moves into a new home. I mean, the only thing they left out of this one that's in every other one is that they didn't have a moody teenage daughter that was angry about the move. That's the only trope they didn't put in here. But
that'll be the sequel. Wasn't there a little girl in it?
She'll grow up and then she'll be moody and grumpy the whole movie. But premise aside, which was a little tired and played out, it looks really good because Kevin Bacon can do no wrong in my eyes, and then you got Blumhouse behind it. I will take a chance on re-experiencing this trope once more because I think this one is probably a step above.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that with the tire trope too. Could you imagine like someone that's from like another planet, right? Decides to like look upon like these horror films, right, as like maybe that's the only sense of media they can get, and they look down on this. They must think it must be the worst thing ever to move into a new house. Like there's never a benefit. They must be like, oh my god, every time someone moves into a new house, there's either a ghost, a murderer, they go crazy,
demon possession.
Yeah, there's always something. Can you just imagine someone like looking from afar gets to see these things? They must think it's terrible, but it's fun.
I heard a good podcast the other day about they were interviewing the current owners of the Conjuring house, and they were talking about how they have, they knew when they bought it that it was going to be a kind of a tourist attraction, right? You're going to have people like stopping by and stuff. But they said like it gets kind of scary because the other night they had one night they had somebody pull up into their driveway and like sit there for an hour. Like this is like 12:30 at night.
Yeah, that's a little.
And so they're saying on the podcast, they're like, look, if you want to reach out and get a tour or whatever, that's one thing, but don't come on our property in the middle of the night because you're going to get the police called because this is a residence kind of thing. It was kind of interesting listening to them talk about it.
Yeah, well, the Amityville people, the people that own that house now, they do not want anybody there. In fact, there's a city ordinance sign like in front. I think I took you past it, right? Yeah, when you were here at the time, did we? Oh no, we weren't living there.
No, we weren't living it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. There is a legit. They're like, do not stop. You're not supposed to stop there. Like so, when I took pictures, I took a picture of it once. We kind of just rolled past it, like really slow. Yeah. But and it's back enough from the street that you can easily go by, and if you just don't make it obvious, you can probably snap a picture. But yeah, I know they didn't. I own that house. I would totally make it into like a tourist thing. But like you said, but I'd make it obvious. I say we will gladly show you around. But here are the hours. Like I will make set hours, and you can come by. But like maybe like a couple times a week, we'll make like a little block of time. You can come look at the Amityville house if I owned it, But yeah, so that's anyway. So well, now we're down to our pick of the week already.
Yeah, I do want to get to a couple things before. First of all, Great White.
Yeah, right.
Universal was not associated with it, so sorry.
Oh, it's
Brian.
not. So why did it start with a Universal?
I mean, at least according to IMDb, there's nothing stating Universal was involved.
That's so weird. I could have sworn though the trailer started with the Universal logo to it. Wait, I can find out. I can click on it right now.
Yeah, you're gonna find out live whether Brian was right.
Maybe I watched the other trailer. Right after it, and that's what maybe I got it confused, but I could have sworn. Oh yeah, no, Kino check. It says. Wait, it says now it's showing it's. Maybe I got it confused with the one after that because there was no Universal logo here yet, unless it happens right in the middle of it. Oh yeah, see, there it is. It is a Universal in the middle of the trailer.
Well, maybe they don't want their name tied to it because they're not listed on IMDb.
That's interesting. Unless maybe someone who edited the trailer just has a default setting that any shark movie Universal pops in there. Oh well. That's okay. Weird.
There you go. That's answered. Before we get to our pick
we'll have
of
to
the
get Katrina Bowden on the show and we'll ask. She liked one of our comments on Instagram once. Maybe she'll remember it.
I did want to get to a couple things. We do have a couple 4K releases, Rear Window and Vertigo. So they're continuing to release the old Hitchcock movies on 4K, which I really want to get. And then Scream 2 and Scream 3 are getting another reissue this week. Those get reissued like every other week. I
swear to God, it's like once a month. They just decide.
They just reissue them. Oh man! So what a pick of the week though. This is our Brian and I our mutual pick of the week, and there's no debating why. This is Universal Studios' The Thing 4K version from 1982. A 12-man research team stationed in Antarctica finds an alien being that has fallen from the sky and has been buried for over 100,000 years. If you haven't seen this movie yet, stop what you're doing. Go watch it. Yes. Do not return to this podcast until you've seen one of my favorite horror movies of all time. The reason, I've got a really nice collector's edition of this, the Shout Factory one.
Yeah, same here.
That actually has way more features than this does. But this is 4K, and this is a brand new restoration from the original camera negative. It's HDR presentation, DTSX audio track. I don't think that these. I think these. I'm assuming these are the same audio commentaries we've heard before. The audio commentary of director John Carpenter and Kurt Russell.
I'm pretty sure it's the same. I don't think I doubt they recorded a new one.
No.
So.
John Carpenter's The Thing, Terror Takes Shape. I believe that's on the other disc. Outtakes, the theatrical trailer. Disc 2 is the regular Blu-ray with main feature, the audio commentary, and picture-in-picture. So if you're buying this, if you're double dipping on this, like I probably will, it's purely for the video. Because the Shout Factory Collector's Edition has way more extras. Because I remember it took me hours to get through the extras on that disc. So
yeah, no, they did like two, and it was again. I think it was 2 discs, right? And it had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, it might have had 1 disc, but it just had a lot.
It had a lot. So if you're wanting the best, I mean, this being one of my favorite horror movies of all time, I kind of feel like I have to have the 4K because I'm gonna want to see it, completely remastered. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. It's nice that I have the other one because I have all the extras though. So if you are looking for more extras stuff, the Shout Factory version is definitely the one to get. All right. So to recap, September 7th, we had Kino Lorber, Theater of Blood, 1973, The Tomb of Ligeia from 1964, Great White from 2021, You Should Have Left, which is the Kevin Bacon vehicle from 2020, and then our pick of the week, The Thing 4K, 1982.
Our next week, actually, September 14th, well, actually, that's the first one is my pick of the week, but we differed that one, so that's a rarity. But so we'll go right to release 2, which is from Arrow, and that's Death Scream, AKA. We stopped counting the AKAs. We just kind of forgot about it. The film historian just totally took
we were long overdue for a good AKA, and so I saw this one, and I had to put it in there.
Yeah, and so it's AKA House of Death, 1982. Locals are celebrating the last night of Carnival, or is it Carnival? I don't know. Where is it? From what it looked like, it did not look like it was Carnival. It looked like it was last night of a carnival.
Yeah.
But such as newly in love couple Bob and Kathy, Coach, Neil Marshall, waitresses, timid. Wait, hold on here.
There's some crazy commas in here.
Yeah, let me start that back. It says such as newly in love couple Bob and Kathy, Coach, Neil Marshall. Waitresses, timid blonde Lily, and comely nubile Ramona. There's a lot of descriptive characters here. They're both Jackson, and learning difficulties, teenage peeping Tom Casey. His dad, Avery, is the town sheriff.
It was 1982, folks. They weren't politically correct.
It is so what? But why do you describe that kid as learning difficulties, teenage peeping Tom Casey?
Oh, that's very descriptive.
Oh my god, that sounds like a beer though, like someone would make a name for, like one of those crazy cool breweries that make like weird names like that, McKellar or something. Anyway, several of them decide to spend the night down at the river, down by the river, where an unknown double homicide climaxed. What? There some nights before.
That's not the only thing that climaxed there, I'm sure.
Yeah, apparently not. I think that Peeping Tom teenage difficulty, Teenage Ninja Mutant Ninja. What was he? Okay, but among the fairgoers is the one. But among the fairgoers, there's where we needed the comma. They don't put it. But among the fairgoers is the one responsible for the deaths, and he/she. Oh, that's very progressive already. Sorry. He/she lurks in the shadow, troubled over a tragic past, or just one thing or another, deciding to take her frustrations out with a machete on those he/she blames for all the misfortunes in her life. What the hell kind of description is this? Following the group back to her Riverside stamping ground. Stamping! They made a typo on top of it.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is the best. Riverside stamping ground. He doesn't stomp. He stamps. He just runs over and mails letters. Riverside stamping grounds. He/she sets about ensuring no one leaves the area alive.
Oh my god, that takes the credit for the most entertaining synopsis.
Yes, I wish I would, and I'm glad I didn't read that ahead of time. Like sometimes I do. I am so glad I read that live because it made it probably much funnier. Yes. and I hope it did not. I wasn't trying to insult anybody with with the gender, but it's just the way they worded it here is very comical. You know how because people say he, him, she.
Yeah.
Her.
You can tell they're
it's
going
funny
out
the
of
way
their
they
way.
wrote it here is like they're just doing it to try for no reason whatsoever other than to probably hide the killer that's probably so blatantly obvious when you actually watch the movie. But
my gosh,
But yeah, it's kind of funny. So anyway, it's like Tim said, the narrator sounds like he's describing a comedy, typical 3B slashers. And I wrote, I'll give it a shot. But I didn't get any of that from the trailer for this. But anyway, it's got a brand new 2K restoration from the archival 35mm print. Original uncompressed mono audio, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, brand new audio commentary with producer Charles Eisen and special effects artist Worth Keeter, moderated by filmmaker Phil Smoot. This may be the best Dismemberment entry ever. I almost have to buy it, except our nemesis are here now. Brand new audio commentary with the hysteria continues.
Oh, gosh.
Or nemesis. Then... here it is. All the fun of the scare. The making of Death Screams. Newly produced making of documentary featuring interviews with producer Charles Eisen, special effects artist Worth Keeter, writer Paul Elliott, actors Hans Manship, and Kurt Rector. Okay, come on. Tim, are you punking me with this whole thing?
Hans Manship. I love it.
And Kurt Rector, yeah. Actor, producer's assistant supervising it. What the hell is going on with this one? Okay, I'm going to try and read this again. Actor / producer's assistant / assistant supervising editor, Sharon Alley. And actor / talent wrangler, Robert Billy Bob Melton. Wait a minute. What is it? The talent wrangler? Did these people, like, have to... were they escaping and they had to, like... lasso them up to get
the
back?
Names in this are killing me.
Oh, this is by far the best one we've ever had. TV and radio spots, image galleries, House of Death alternate VHS opening titles, 2 versions of the screenplay under the original title of Night Screams, which wasn't either of the AKA. BD-ROM content, reversible sleeve featuring original artwork and a newly commissioned reimagining of the original VHS artwork by Sadist Art Designs, presented with die-cut slipcover. Now that I know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slipcover, that's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fully illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing by Brian Albright. Wow, that is a doozy. If I would have read that ahead of time, that would have been my pick of the week just for the pure entertainment value.
Oh, yeah.
And now I might have to buy it anyway.
All right, so my next one's the pick of the week, so we'll skip over that one. And we'll go to Epic Pictures' Howling Village from 2019. A young psychologist heads to an infamous haunted place named Howling Village in order to find out her family's dark history. This one looks like a Japanese film, and it looks
What's by the Grudge
people.
Yeah,
the Grudge 2 people. It looked really creepy. I really want to see this one.
This one looks really good. I mean... we've said it before, the Asian horror entries are always so solid, and they do such a good job of, like, pulling you in from the trailer to boot, you know?
Because remember that found footage one we saw that was so good?
Oh, the Gojiyama Asylum, right? Yeah, that one's really good.
This one has some found footage to it as well, I think.
Yeah, it looked like it, right?
Yeah.
It, like, kind of, that's what I got. I got it like a vibe. I don't think it's true found footage, though. I can't tell.
No, I think it's like, there's certain parts of the narration where they flip to camera mode or whatever. But yeah, it looks super, super cool.
Yeah, this one I'm definitely gonna watch. That one looked really cool. Next one is I could not find a. Every time I tried to find a trailer, it reminded me of the Al Pacino vehicle, that TV show.
I was like, I watched like half of the Al Pacino trailer.
Me too, and I'm like, oh, Al Pacino's in this. That's awesome. But then I realized, no, this is something completely different. And I've heard of this movie. I can't find why there's no trailer for it. IMDb doesn't even have it set for release yet for another couple of weeks to begin with, so I don't know if it's going straight to Shout Factory. I don't know. But anyway, several years after a virus has ravaged the world, too soon, soldier John T. Recker, yeah, that's a name. What am I getting these names?
I don't know.
Continues his task of protecting a group of refugees and base to which he was assigned, in spite of scarce supplies and a never-dwindling discovery of survivors. As he goes about his daily routine, the threat of something new and even more dangerous grows ever closer in the form of monstrous mutants. The arrival of another soldier from a different outpost gives John hope that they might be able to fight this horrific new threat together. But with time running out and new mutations closing in, John is facing the annihilation of his mission and the lives that rely on him. That sounds way too familiar right now. Yeah. In a way. Instead of mutant strains, we're getting variants of the virus.
Well, we need John T. Recker on the case.
We do. Or whatever, the Smoot from the other DVD. Maybe he's the other guy that shows up.
Yeah. These four we're doing right here, guys, are just no extras on these that I could find.
Yeah, nothing.
Next up from Magnolia Pictures, we have Censor from 2021. After viewing a strangely familiar video nasty, Enid, a film censor, sets out to solve the past mystery of her sister's disappearance, embarking on a quest that dissolves the line between fiction and reality. This one looks really cool. I'm a sucker for any...
We actually have the screener for this, by the way.
Oh, I want to watch it because I'm a sucker for anything like a horror movie about another horror movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I don't know if you have watched, you probably haven't watched American Horror Stories, which is the spinoff series, Brian.
Oh, no.
But the third episode of that one, which stars Adrienne Barbeau, by the way, in a great role, but it's about a film that when it was screened one time at a drive-in, and a bunch of people like went crazy and killed each other. And so they found, like, somebody finds it and they're going to have a re-screening of it. So everybody's like getting tickets to go back and see it.
That's like that movie I watched. I think it was on Shudder, the one, or Do Not Press Play or whatever. That one where it was like the student filmmaker was trying to make a film and she found like this crazy director. I think you watched it too. We both watched it.
Yeah, I mean, there's several premises that I've heard. I think there was a podcast that I listened to one time that was like that. It was where they were trying to track down this lost film that supposedly drove all these people crazy. I've heard the premise a couple times in different places, but yeah, third episode of American Horror Stories. Y'all should watch that one. That was pretty good. But this kind of reminded me of that, and the trailer's really, really good. I want to see this one.
Yeah, I gotta look up that other movie for you. But I know I watched it, and I think I told you about it. And you watched it, but yeah, Censor. We have. I think it expires the 15th. We need to watch that.
Sweet. All right. Cool.
Next one is it's from the Shudder group, RLJ Entertainment. It's just the second season of Eli Roth's History of Horror. I say it like it's not good, but no, it's an amazing series. It's
I still need to finish them. I haven't
season 2.
I just need to break down and finish it. I keep watching, I'll watch it a little bit here and there, and I just never get around to finishing it up. All right, well, that brings us, Brian, to our picks of the week. So I guess we'll each take our respective pick of the week. Mine was from Arrow, and it is a box set, Cold War Creatures, 4 films from Sam Katzman, 1955 to 1957, so we're going way back here. Zombies.
No, sorry, not that kind of cats.
No.
Okay.
Katzman. Yeah. Katzman.
I know, doesn't it, like, that'd be a cool, like a bat, instead of you flip it, Batman and Catwoman, but you have Catsman and Batwoman.
There's already a Batwoman, can't be done.
A different Batwoman.
Yeah. Zombies, werewolves, atomic mutation, intergalactic avians. Let this quartet of classic terrors take you back to the golden age of B-movie monsters. A mob boss hires an ex-Nazi scientist to reanimate his dead thugs in Creature with the Atom Brain. An auto accident survivor is used as an experimental subject to create a vaccine for nuclear fallout with hair-raising side effects. In The Werewolf. Treasure hunters get more than they bargained for in the search for a cargo of diamonds that went down with a sunken ship when they discovered the zombified crew members are guarding the loot in Zombies of Moratau. Meanwhile, an enormous bird from outer space descends to chow down on the people of planet Earth in the Giant Claw. 4 fantastic feature presentations from prolific producer Sam Katzman with a bounty of brand new extras and a raft of new writing by a range of respected raconteurs. These Cold War creatures are coming for you. So
that's a cool set, though.
This is a really cool set. I am a fan of films on Blu-ray that I feel like would never get seen otherwise. That's why I love these old sets, even when I'm sure these movies aren't great, right? But the fact that you get to see them, and there's probably stuff that you'd never get to see otherwise, and extras and stuff on top of that, which we'll go through here. Limited edition contents. We have high definition Blu-ray presentations of all 4 films, the uncompressed mono audio and subtitles, of course. A fully illustrated 60-page collector's book featuring extensive new writing by Laura Drazen Boys, Neil Mitchell, Barry Forshaw, John Towson, and Jackson Cooper. An 80-page collector's art book featuring reproduction stills and artwork from each film and new writing by historian and critic Stephen R. Bissett.
Now you remember him, right?
We haven't seen him in a while. We haven't seen him.
No,
in
he
a
doesn't,
while.
and he wasn't on the because I think the list we have. We didn't put Cody's most updated list on here, so I had to dig for him. But I knew I remembered him. He was the guy that created the blank audio recording vessels named Bassett tapes. But he's currently still defending himself in a copyright infringement lawsuit from the Philips Corporation and Lou Ottens, creator of the cassette tape. But sadly, Lou Ottens passed away in March 2021, so his estate apparently is still suing.
All right, so 2 double-sided posters featuring newly commissioned artwork by Matt Griffin, reversible sleeves featuring original and newly commissioned artwork for each film by Matt Griffin. Disc 1, Creature with the Atom Brain. We have a brand new introduction by historian and critic Kim Newman, who is grandfathered in, but...
But he remembers he's a terrible neighbor to Barry Forshaw, who was up before there, who's not really a historian in this role. But remember, he greets her with "Hello, Newman."
Yes, Kim Newman's a guy, though, but...
Yeah, I mean, to him with the. I'm sorry, I got confused with Kat Ellinger for a second.
We've completely destroyed the.
Oh God!
From the very beginning, we just messed them up, those two up. But
yeah, I get them mixed up all the time.
We got it correct now. Brand new audio.
And now Katzman is in there too. That's just gonna make it worse.
Brand new audio commentary by critic Russell Dyball. Sam Katzman, Before and Beyond the Cold War.
Why didn't we
Creatures.
do him? We didn't put him on as a list.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's a critic.
Technically, yeah. I mean,
I think you have to have historian and critic to get.
Yeah,
on the
you
list.
gotta have that bonus. Yeah.
Sam Katzman, Before and Beyond the Cold War Creatures, a brand new feature-length illustrated presentation on the life, career, and films of Sam Katzman by historian and critic Stephen R. Bissett.
He's still getting a lot done in between his lawsuits.
He really is. A condensed Super 8mm version of Creature with the Atom Brain produced for home cinema viewing. Theatrical trailer,
cool.
image gallery.
Actually,
that is kind of
cool.
Feature. Yeah. Disc 2, The Werewolf. We have a brand new introduction by critic Kim Newman. He's gone from film historian to just a plain critic now.
Yeah, he
got demoted. Brand new audio commentary by critic Lee Gambin. Beyond Window Dressing, a brand new visual essay exploring the oft-overlooked role of women in the films of Sam Katzman by historian and critic Alexandra Heller Nicholas.
And I know we've had her on, and I can't, but I think I forgot to add her in here.
Yeah, I think we had her.
Oh, no. Here she is. She was a saucy little minx. Basically,
right.
She's like Karen Black from Trilogy of Terror or Ms. Davis from Varsity Blues. She looks like a meek school teacher, but has a naughty dark side. Hot for teachers. And that's Cody's summary of the way we discussed it that day.
Oh, that's great. That's funny.
Yeah, that was a good
I love reading Cody's descriptions.
I really wish but one day we need the Cody. I know you're listening, so one day you need to have yourself recorded while I want a visual reaction of as you're typing this and reading these and hearing it all.
Oh, condensed Super 8mm version of The Werewolf. Again, that's a cool feature. Theatrical trailer and image gallery. Disc 3, The Zombies of Moratau. We have a brand new introduction by critic Kim Newman. Brand new audio commentary by critic Kat Ellinger.
Yeah, they're demoted. Oh, look, oh my God, they're on the same disc. Forget it. There's no hope.
No, we're going to get banned from being... We can't even purchase this disc anymore. Yeah. We're on the ban list. We have Atomic Terror, Genre and Transformation, a brand new visual essay exploring the intersection of mythical horror creatures and the rational world of science in the films of Sam Katzman by critic Josh Hurtado. Theatrical trailer, image gallery. And finally, Disc 4, The Giant Claw, another introduction by Kim Newman, brand new audio commentary by critics Emma Westwood and Cerise Howard. Family Endangered, a brand new visual essay examining the theme of Cold War paranoia in Sam Katzman monster movies by critic Mike White. Condensed Super 8mm version of The Giant Claw and theatrical trailer and image gallery. Really cool set. It's retails for about $75. So if you are if that's a little outside your budget, maybe Brian's pick of the week would be a better choice.
Yes. Oh, one final thing on that. Even though she's technically not she's just a critic listed on here. I did happen to just stumble across something about Emma Westwood. She's basically the multiverse version of Clint Eastwood. So she's female and she's from the West. Okay.
Okay, great.
I'm going to hell. Okay. My release is a little bit cheaper, probably. Although the way Shout Factory's discs are, it may not be that much cheaper. It's Alone in the Dark Collector's Edition from 1982. At a secluded mental institution, Dr. Bain, played by Donald Pleasance, maintains order while electricity fuels the asylum's high-tech security system that keeps the nearby neighborhood safe from menaces like Frank Hawks, Jack Palance.
Wait a minute.
And what?
Let me stop you right there. Donald Pleasance should not be in charge of any kind of mental institution because he can't keep his own guy out of.
That's true. Yeah. Why did they give him another job?
I mean, how many times has Michael Myers escaped? Well, I guess
Yeah,
technically
I
only
like that
once,
meme I put on the Sammy's board. Did you see where it says, "Why do they always release him on
Yes,
Halloween Eve?"
yeah.
That is true. Why do they? And so from menaces like Frank Hawks, Jack Palance, and Preacher, Martin Landau. Whoa, this has got a cast, I
Yeah.
tell you. It says, meanwhile, a new doctor, Dan Potter, Dwight Schultz, which I thought said Dwight Schrute when I looked
said that
fast,
too.
arrives in town with his family, but the inmates don't take kindly to his presence and believe he has killed off their former therapist. Suddenly, a power outage, of course, leaves the town in chaos, and now the maniacs are free to roam the streets and hunt down the man they believe has invaded their lives. With the area quickly descending into riots and chaos, the innocent few must fight for their lives when they're left terrified, cornered, and alone in the dark. Because it's in all exclamation points and capitals. One of the most memorable and terrifying cult films of the 80s. This is a white-knuckle shocker from director Jack Scholder. Delivers one seat jumping scare after another, along with the thick vein of sly, pitch-black humor. Turn off the lights and watch if you dare. I saw this years ago. I remember, this was this was kind of fun. I haven't seen it in ages. This is one I'm definitely going to pick up, though, just because it's so cool. Because how do you not own a movie with, as Tim said, with Donald Pleasance and Jack Palance?
How have you not seen it? I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
really
I don't know how
it.
you haven't seen that one. It must have been probably in that list. Was that the year you didn't see anything? Like 80? No.
That probably was.
You saw a lot on 82.
Well, I was only 8 years old then, so I probably didn't see this.
Yeah, and this is actually one of New Line's earlier films. This is a New Line New Line Pictures movie. So this was obviously before Nightmare, but on Elm Street. But it's one of the earlier films that they had. So they had some good horror cred even before Elm Street. Which is kind of cool. It says it's got a new 2K restoration of the film from an Interpositive. New Out of the Dark, an interview with director and co-writer Jack Scholder, who you can always lean on. You like that one? I put that right in. Oh, this is one of the best features ever. It says, "New Mother Choppers, the sick fucks remember Alone in the Dark," but it's F.
Now I got to put a profanity tag on this podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
well, I'm just reading it the way it is. It says, new sights in the dark, the locations of Alone in the Dark. Ironically, nobody knew where they were until they turned the lights on, and then they were able to see the locations. Oh, boy, I'm in rare form today. New audio commentary with genre film critic Justin Kurswell and film historian Amanda Reyes. Now, we've dealt with these before. Justin Kurswell uses profanity incredibly. It's like a painter using a brush. A little rough around the edges, though. And Amanda Reyes is known for amazing, rarely known facts about obscure movies. For example, she knows everything Dennis Christopher ate for lunch during his shoots. One time, her and Bill Ackerman, who's not mentioned here at all, but since he's in this description, he's going to get mentioned now, did not know they were recording a commentary together, and each tried to send the other out for Earl Grey tea, steeped no less than 4 minutes, leading to a very awkward first meeting.
She's always got one of the most intricate descriptions.
She does. And Cody did a great job at transcribing that for us. Audio commentary with director Jack Scholder. Bunky Lives, an interview with actress Carol Levy. Okay, here's the tag again. Still fucking sick. Catching up with the sick fucks.
It's probably the best feature
They
ever.
get their own like thing. It's funny. Theatrical trailer, TV spot, radio spots, and still gallery. This dismemberment for a short one
this week
in general has had some doozies.
Wow. Okay, let's recap the week of September 14th. We had Death Screams, aka House of Death from 1982, Howling Village from 2019, Hunters from 2021, Censor from 2021, Eli Roth's History of Horror Season 2, my pick of the week, Cold War Creatures, 4 films from Sam Katzman, which is a nice little box set. And then Brian's cheaper pick of the week, but no less interesting, Alone in the Dark Collector's Edition from Shout Factory. So I think that was 2 good picks of the week there. All right, that moves us right along to September 21st. And we do have a little announcement here. They are re-releasing that Dungeon of Andy Milligan box set.
Oh.
So we did not get that one the first time around. Maybe your chance to pick that one
I'm
up.
hoping they release that Al Adams one though.
Yeah,
would buy
that's
that
the one
in
I
a
really
heartbeat. If they release that again, I will definitely going to get that. And then that terrible movie Haunt.
Yeah, then we got a Haunt Collector's Edition reissue, Brian. So you
We're
can
the only
finally...
two still that did not like that movie.
I know.
Every time I see someone else, they like it. I don't.
Everybody likes it except for us. It's weird.
What happened? What went wrong?
I don't know. I almost want to do like a commentary on that movie. but nobody will watch
Maybe
it.
that's what we do. I think that's a good idea. We do it as a commentary, and maybe as we're going through it, we'll realize.
Yes, we need to watch it
possibly
together.
wrong.
We need to watch it together and figure out
Right.
what's going on. Because
Yeah.
this movie, like, normally it doesn't bother me if I like a movie that somebody else doesn't like, or I don't like a movie that somebody else does like. It doesn't bother me. Everybody's got their own opinion about the movies, and I don't judge anybody for not liking this film or really liking this one. But this one bothers me on a different level because I love horror movies. I love haunt movies.
Right.
It has all the ingredients of something I should love, and everybody else loves it. Why do I not love it? It bothers me. It feels like I'm something's broken inside me that I don't like this movie.
Yeah, like I don't know if there's some subliminal thing that that movie found to irritate us.
I don't know. It really bugs me. It's like a mystery to myself.
And we watched it more than one time.
I've watched it 3 times now. At
Yeah,
least
I
3
think
times.
same.
Maybe
Yeah, I
possibly
think 'cause Joe
4.
Bob showed it once, right?
Yeah, I've watched it at least 3 times, and I just can't wrap my head around it. And you know, sometimes I won't like a movie the first time, and then like the second time I watch it, I'll go, "It's not as bad as I thought." And then like third time, I'm like, "Oh man, I love this movie."
Yeah.
And this movie, I tend to like dislike more every time I watch it.
I know. I think it's like slight. It's going down the scale
I don't
somehow.
know.
Yeah.
I think we have to do that, Brian. I mean, even if we don't record it, we'll probably record it. But
Yeah.
I think we have to do that. That's got to be one of our things, like getting to the bottom of Haunt.
Yeah. Like it'll be a special, a very special episode of Civil Gore.
I'm about to do it as like a bonus or something.
Yeah.
It'll be a Patreon exclusive for our
for
non-Patreon.
Yeah, for our no
which
Patreon.
means it'll be free for everybody. All right, so September 21st, we have our pick of the week was actually a mutual pick of the week, so we're going to skip over that one and go right into RLJ Entertainment's Boys from County Hell from 2021. A crew of hardy road workers led by a bickering father and son must survive the night when they accidentally awaken an ancient Irish vampire. This was a really cool movie.
Yeah, we did
like
this one for an episode. Oh,
Yeah.
this was a fun one.
Yeah, go back and check out our feature episode on that one if you like all RLJ Entertainments. They typically don't have many extras, if any. This one did not have any listed, but it's a great movie.
But on the good side, they usually they tend to have some. They're just not announced. A few, and they're always pretty good price. Usually $14.99 and under.
Yeah.
So that's good. The next one is one that I saw. It's again from RLJ Entertainment. That's Violation from 2020. It's a troubled woman on the edge of divorce returns home to her younger sister after years apart. But when her sister and brother-in-law barely betray her trust, she embarks on a vicious crusade of revenge. So yeah, this one, this was a little bit on the disturbing side. Also, I have to say, contained extended erect penis in it.
This is
Which was shocking to see on Shudder.
Was there like a Viagra warning? Like, if you see erect penis for more than 30 seconds in this film, please contact the doctor.
It's more than 30 seconds.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it's not just one of these like little fleeting like. No, it's like star of the scene. In fact,
Well, you know what? We've been watching boobs for how many decades?
Yeah.
Like, the women should get their.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not like I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying it like shouldn't have been there. I'm just saying it's.
Yeah, it's just fair warning. It's there.
You just don't see it a lot. Kim and Ket always say this too. You don't see it a lot.
No.
So like to see this so it's such a starring role. Like it's like I wouldn't be surprised if on this disc there was like a hidden commentary from it. It's so featured. You got to see it, Tim. Now you got to see it just for that.
I don't know if I'm ready to go there yet, but I'll keep it in mind.
It's on Shudder. You can just like it's not like you even have to do much effort to see it. So.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. But overall, the movie was actually a pretty good movie. It's one of it's not. It's some people might see it's like the typical revenge theme, but there's a little more to it. And the performances are pretty good. So it's I think it's definitely worth the watch.
Okay. All right. Next up from Shout Factory, The Vigil from 2020. A man providing overnight watch to a deceased member of his former Orthodox Jewish community finds himself opposite a malevolent entity. And this one's been on my list for a while, and I've seen the trailer for a while. I almost wondered if we had covered it in a previous Dismemberment almost, because I was like, I swear I remember watching this trailer. But I don't know, so if this is a repeat, our apologies. But this one looks really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's like funny. One of the taglines in the trailer, it says it's like The Conjuring with a Jewish twist. So I've nicknamed it The Conjuring. but this movie looks kind of creepy. I think this is going to the premise is going to scare me out of Judaism. I don't know. It's
It
like
might.
I mean, I think this movie needs to add like a little bit of Seth Rogen in there. We need Ricky Glore because he does the good Seth Rogen. I can't do it well, but you kind of need him in there. Just go, this was great. I didn't see that coming. That's a terrible Seth Rogen.
It might scare me into Judaism. Who knows?
It could be, but like it's creepy though. If you see the premise, they basically say like you can't leave a dead body unattended because it comes back.
Yeah.
This like now every shiva I've ever, well, not that the body's there, but like every Jewish funeral I go to from now on, I'm going to be a little bit more on my toes apparently.
Yeah, better.
I don't know.
No, seriously, it does look really, really cool.
No, it does look really good though.
All right.
What was that other one we saw? Where it had the it was with Gabriel Byrne. It was like a movie. They had to get the rabbi. They had to, like his family was being cursed, and they needed a rabbi because he was the only one that would do like some type of exorcism. Remember we saw that?
Oh yes.
It had the title of something else. It's like the same. It's one of those movies. It's like 5 movies with the same title, but we saw it. I don't know if we watched it for the horror challenge or we just watched it. Oh God, I gotta look it up. I'll look it up when you read the our pick of the week. I'll look it up for us.
All right, so our Brian and I's pick of the week was from Vestron. That is now owned by Lionsgate, isn't that right? I think I
believe so.
They have all the rights
that's right.
to
We just
Vestron
found
now.
that. Vestron does all those good editions. So.
Yeah, they have some really good discs. So this is Dementia 13 from 1963. This is the Francis Ford Coppola early film. The family members of an Irish family are being killed off one by one of their own who is after the family's inheritance. I saw this one many, many years ago. I remember it was in a set. This is back when, this is probably like 98 when DVDs were first like really becoming popular. And I had bought my first DVD player at Circuit City, no less. That ages me there.
Wow.
But I bought my first DVD player. I had my little surround sound system. And I had, I was buying all kinds of stuff, and I bought this, I don't know, it's one of those cheesy box sets, 5 horror classics or whatever. And I remember Dementia 13 was in one of them. And I don't remember much about it. I couldn't tell you the plot of it or anything. It's been so long ago. But I definitely want to, I like this one as pick of the week just because it was, only one of the only discs with extras, but also it's a classic. And Vestron usually does some pretty good discs. Has a brand new 4K restoration of the director's cut of the film, supervised by Francis Ford Coppola, which was my big selling point there, to see a director's cut, because I have not seen that. An introduction by Francis Ford Coppola, an audio commentary by Francis Ford Coppola, and a prologue, Dementia 13 test. So, pretty good disc there. So, to recap.
I can't find that movie, by the way. I could have sworn it was Gabriel Byrne in it. But I guess maybe it wasn't. I don't. You know the movie I'm talking about, though, right?
Vaguely, yeah. But anyway,
I'll have to look that up.
I'll recap here. We had Boys from County Hell, Violation, and The Vigil, and our pick of the week, Dementia 13. Short week, only 4 releases. Also, keep an eye out for that Dungeon of Andy Milligan reissue. That's a cool box set. So they must have sold pretty well for them to reissue with that one. All right, that brings us to our last week, September 28th. This is our biggest week, 9 releases this week. And as far as reissues, of course, the Purge 5-movie collection, which rivals Scream for the number of times they reissue that.
Seriously.
But
they keep adding films to it, just like Scream.
And of course, they're selling that because of the Forever Purge coming out, which brings us to, Brian, and I'll let you take that one, our first release this week.
Yes, and this Forever Purge, it says, all the rules are broken as a sect of lawless marauders decide that the annual purge does not stop at daybreak and instead should never end. Hence the title Forever Purge. Good, actually. I have to say, the one thing with the Purge series is they've always, managed, obviously the plot is around the Purge, but they always seem to at least make it not seem like it's just the same thing over in a new setting, new people. It may look like that, but there's always good intricacies. And this I kind of like because I think this would be the natural development,
Mm-hmm.
Like you figured the people that because based on the trailer you can tell, so And like you got from the first one, the rich people kind of have this advantage, and they kind of use it as like their little playground kind of thing. But like, where is it left for the people that are like struggling? That are really frustrated with their lives. That like maybe don't have the means to do that. And that's because there's a line in that trailer, and that's what this looks like in this one, where it's like this group. I guess it's in Texas. I guess they're tired of the purge just kind of being this one and done day. And it looks really cool. Actually, some cool, creepy moments in this thing. Definitely want to see this through because I've seen all the other ones and liked every one of them. So this is going to be good. Same with you, Tim. I think you're a big fan of this series.
Oh, yeah. It's a very solid horror franchise. I mean,
yeah.
None of these sequels, when I look back at the entire Purge series, like there's none of them that I disliked in any way. Like they all thought they were at least good. Some are better than others, but they're all all pretty good, in my opinion.
And they all seem to make sense in that world. Like, the developments that happen in, like, the sequel. I know one was a prequel, but, like, the ones where they go forward, it seems like that's the development that would happen,
Yeah, that's definitely on the list for a summer slaycation, because that'd be a great series to do.
I mean, I know we watched one of them, right, for one episode, so we just have to go back.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's good. This got a couple of decent features on it. It says an altered storyboard opening, does some deleted scenes, collapsing the system behind the Forever Purge, and a creep-tastic wardrobe.
Nice.
Which is cool, because I saw there's some cool, like, costumed characters in this one.
Cool. All right, next up from Media Blasters, we have Shadow Dead Riot from 2006. Horror icon Tony Todd, Clive Barker's Candyman series, delivers his most powerful and evil performance as Shadow, an executed and resurrected serial killer who invades a women's prison in search of the girl known only as Solitaire, Carla Green. Solitaire senses her impending doom and prepares to single-handedly take on Shadow and his army of zombies in a supernatural martial arts showdown. So this one looks like super cheesy and low budget, but it has Tony Todd, and Carla Green looks like a badass. Like, she is beating zombies down. It looks pretty entertaining.
Yeah, and plus, Tony Todd, you don't watch his movies. He finds you. He's like, why didn't you watch it?
Yes.
So he's
Did
going
we
to
ever get a Tony Todd like? Did we get a Tony Todd?
We did. We did. I think he liked my impersonation or something, like the thing I did about his impersonation. Remember, like when we talked about, like, I think he liked about us talking about his like.
Yes.
So I think we got multiple Tony Todd likes.
Nice.
Which was cool because because I did the image. Remember, as I said, like, I have a feeling like when he scrolls through and he sees the thing, he'll be like, I like it. And he hits it, he hits it like he verbally likes it as well. So it's like, he's just so cool. And I tell you, him on the episode he did of Holliston, the Adam Green series.
Yes.
My God, it was one of the funniest ones ever because Tony Todd plays this like exaggerated version of himself.
Oh, it's great.
And it's just like, yeah, you got to see it. You still got to watch that series, period. I think, right?
I started watching a few of them, but I haven't gotten through all the way through.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, and this is on Tubi, so you can actually watch it now.
Nice.
See if you want to purchase it.
Yeah. Next one's yours.
Oh,
right?
it's just mine. Yeah. That's right. Because I spoke so much about Tony Todd, I got confused. Next one is by Severin Films, Midnight. Speaking of that Severin Films, I know this is for next month's Dismemberment, but that set, like that limited edition version, that Witches set, sold out.
Oh my gosh, it looks so
cool. But I
cool.
saw like a cool like little snippet, like a little trailer for the regular box set, which they still have. That's an expensive set. It's like $150 something, but I might have to get that thing. We'll talk about more about it on next month's Dismemberment, but this thing looks like it's the biggest like Tim set ever. I think it's like this folk horror box set.
Yeah, it's like a folklore horror.
None of us have ever heard of, probably, but
it looks really so cool looking.
But yeah, I digress. We'll go back to this one, which is Midnight from 1982. It says a teenage girl runs away from home because a police officer stepfather puts the moves on her. Hitchhiking to California, she's picked up by two guys who are also traveling cross country. They run across a family of Satanists who keep their dead mother in the attic. Boy, that had to have been the worst Google Map.
Yes.
Direction suggestion ever. But it looks kind of cool. The narrator of this trailer that sounds like someone that would be like do one of those science films. It's like, take the beaker and move it counterclockwise, stirring the contents. It's like this guy is so matter of fact, but like that 70s voice. It's weird, even though this is the 80s. But they did a good number on this disc. They did the 4K restoration from the film from the original camera negative. Interview with writer-director John Russo. Interview with producer Samuel M. Sherman. Interview with actor John Amplis. And interview with SFX artist Tom Savini. So that's right there alone is a
Nice.
bonus
I've met
feature that you need.
I've met John Russo a couple times.
Yeah, so you got some good good little interviews there, and it comes to the trailer and more TBC. So I guess that means to be coming. I don't know what is.
Yeah, more to be coming. Yeah, I think they still have some unannounced extras on this one.
Sneaky little Severin.
Yes, but they make such good disc.
They do.
All right. Next up from Media Blasters, we have X-Cross from 2007. Now, I was so intrigued by this premise, although the trailer I just was not really impressed with at all. So don't be disappointed by the trailer after you hear this premise. Recovering from a failed love affair, Shiori heads to the country in the company of best friend and bad girl Eiko. Having taken a long soak in the hot spring, they retire to their respective cabins. They soon discover that the tranquil village is the home of a cult with a fetish for cutting off female legs. Trying to escape, they are split up and keep in touch via their mobile phones. Multiple points of view and time frames keeps the viewer on their toes trying to discern the grisly fate of these lost girls. So I was envisioning like this real creepy, like Japanese thing where they're cutting people's limbs off and things. But I don't know. The trailer just didn't do anything for me.
Oh, so by the way, that movie was The Possession.
Oh,
it wasn't with Gabriel Byrne.
There's like
it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
There's like 20 of them, yeah.
I know, and it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It wasn't even Gabriel Byrne.
I actually liked that movie, though. I really
yeah,
do
it was.
like that
No,
movie.
it wasn't bad. I was
Yeah.
just that's why I wanted to remember it.
Yeah. I should have been able to tell you that because I've watched it a couple times because I watched the commentary and everything because I've got the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's
that was
pretty
a
good.
pretty
Oh,
good
that's I think why we ended up watching. I think you told me you got the Blu-ray. In
Yeah.
like did you get it in a box? I think one of your boxes.
It wasn't a box set, but it was like one of those like triple feature Blu-rays.
Oh, okay.
And it was on one of those, yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
with Sinister and some other movie, Cabin in the Woods.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Sorry to go back to topic. But yeah, this movie I couldn't tell what was going on from it.
Yeah, it was. I
kinda
don't know. It
looks-
wasn't a great trailer, honestly.
Yeah, and usually the trailers need to pull you in. This one did not do that. Next one is this I think is a new one for us. Saturn's Core Audio and Video. And it's Psycho Sisters from 1994. It says mean and domineering Jane and sweet ditzy. Oh no, sorry. Mean and domineering Jane and sweet ditzy Jackie are two radically contrasting sisters who suffer from some severe trauma after witnessing the murder-suicide of their parents. The pair are deemed fit to re-enter society and released from a sanitarium where they've gone to extensive rehabilitation therapy. However, Jane and Jackie prove to be anything but sane and harmless as they embark on a vicious killing spree. I don't even know what the heck this thing is. The way it's like the guy keeps screaming through it. Oh no, that's the other one.
Oh, this
I'm
one.
sorry, that's another one where he screams. This is the one where it's like there was all the strangling.
Yeah,
every
it's
2
like
seconds.
super low budget, and it has like
Yeah.
it just looks weirdly softcore porno-y. It's this one's weird.
Yeah. And then it says a new transfer from the original SVHS edit. Wow, SVHS. Remember Super VHS?
Yeah.
It was just a little better than. It says original Psycho Sisters demo video created by WAVE. I didn't say wave because it was the periods in between productions. Vintage 1995 Afterward with director Pete Giacalone. Vintage 1988 Afterward with director Pete Giacalone. So 3 years later, we do another Afterward, whatever that is. WAVE's Splatter Chatter video magazine featuring footage and interviews from the 1995 theatrical premiere at William Patterson College.
Mhm.
This thing didn't even make a theater. It says Psycho Sisters at Chiller. That's pretty cool. I've been to that convention. Vintage interviews from the 1995 Chiller Theater Expo.
That would be cool to
Can't
see.
remember when I started going to Chiller. I have to ask Steve Cohn that one. So the first one I ever went to went with him. So, but anyway, yeah, that con's kind of fun. Definitely not as good as New Jersey Horror Con, but it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't have the cool camaraderie. Like Monster Mania, you hear about how you're like you get to see everyone, you're really hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I feel like Chiller is very like regimented. Like it's like you're in the booth and they're behind you and you get up on a line and you talk to them and it's just it's they have a weird amount of weird guests that aren't even horror and a lot of them, so it's a very odd convention. It's fun, but it's just after going to New Jersey Horror Con, I that's the kind of cons I like, those kind where they're a little more like feel
Just
like
a little more intimate, yeah.
familial atmosphere. Anyway, not to disc chiller because it's a fine convention. But it also says The Day the Shopping Carts Came to Life, an early short film by Pete Giacalone. Lost Child, an early short film by Pete Giacalone. Original teaser trailer, Mail Order Murder, the story of WAVE production trailer, and reversible cover artwork.
Wow, a lot of extras for that.
Yeah.
Coming up next from Seven Films, A Day of Judgment from 1981. In the 1920s, a man in black rides into a small southern town to visit retribution upon the citizens who have strayed from the path of righteousness and religion. He does this, of course, by killing them in various bloody ways. I could not find the trailer for this, but I did find the entire movie. So when you're searching for on YouTube, you may stumble across the entire thing. It has a new 2K restoration of the film from an Inner Positive. The Atheist Sins, an interview with author of Nightmare USA, Stephen Thrower. I think we've had him on here before.
Yeah, but we're not going to discuss him because he's not in his historian mode.
That's
today.
right, yeah. Tales of Judgment, interview with filmmaker Worth Keeter. There's Worth Keeter again.
Oh my God, he's back.
He's a filmmaker now. He was a special effects artist.
Wow, he advanced. Good for him.
And
he found his worth.
And writer Tom McIntyre. I kind of like the premise of this one, though. I'm kind of curious about it. It sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it. I just wish I would have seen a trailer, but oh well. Next one is another Kino Lorber release. This is a cool one because I love when they release these really old ones you'd think you'd never own in like a good quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 1923. 50th century Paris, Jihan, the evil brother of the Archdeacon, plots with the Gypsy King to foment a peasant revolt, which eventually leads to the peasants storming the Cathedral of Notre Dame. Meanwhile, Jihan's slave, a freakish hunchback named Quasimodo, falls in love with the young gypsy queen Esmeralda, who in turn is in love with Phoebus, right? Phoebus? Or
Phoebus? I guess. I don't know.
Phoebus? Phoebus. A gentle
Biggest
soldier and a
dickus?
rogue with the ladies. Yeah.
Sorry. I was having Monty Python flashbacks.
Oh, no. I like this, though. He's a gentleman soldier and rogue with the ladies.
Oh, there you go.
It says Phoebus Gallant.
Gallant.
I'm thinking. No, I know, because I'm thinking of the Rangers' new coach, Gerard Gallant. So I almost just said Gerard Gallant. He's their new coach this year. Phoebus' gallant side is awake. So every time, like, you know how much I've been reading on hockey. So, like, literally in my head, anytime I see gallant, it comes out Gallant. Now, it's terrible. I can't read it properly anymore. Anyway, Phoebus' gallant side is awakened by the beautiful peasant girl, and he soon returns her love. Unknown to him, his love is dangerous, because Jihan lusts for Esmeralda and is willing to kill the handsome soldier to possess her. But the hunchback will tolerate no harm coming to her, not even if it comes from his own master. So, of course, that's the classic. And it's great that it's actually being released in 4K restoration, completed by Universal Pictures.
That's cool. Yeah, I watched this one for a Horror Challenge a year or two ago.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat to see. That's a Lon Chaney, like, masterpiece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and
makeup.
it's great that they're, like, Universal, like, restored it from their own, to make it in 4K. That's cool. It's got an audio commentary by film critic Farron Smith-Nem, who doesn't get a thing because it's only critic right now.
Once you get historian
We have
Farron,
to-
we'll
Yeah,
revisit.
you better watch out because I already got plans for you. But speaking of film historians, we got a film booklet essay from film historian Michael Blake. And I don't know if you know about him, Tim.
No, I don't know about him.
He wasn't always a film historian. He actually began with an extremely popular DIY YouTube series called It's a Piece of Blake. He only... yeah. Oh God, they're getting worse from me. Why do you let me do these?
I don't know.
He only had about 20 followers, ironically, all named Michael F. Blake also.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Life in Hollywood. I had to sleep on that one, actually, because I was tired when I was trying to go through his research, and I'm like, I'll just do it tomorrow, and that's the best I came up with. Shame on me. Life in Hollywood newsreel, Lon Chaney home movie footage, music by Nora Kroll Rosenbaum and Laura Cartman. Not Cartman, Cartman. Slideshow of protection correspondence. I don't even know what that is. Production correspondence. Yeah, no, what is that though? Production. I don't know. Slideshow of production stills. Okay, so yeah, that's a good release though.
All right. Release number 9, we have Vinegar Syndrome's Girls' School Screamers from 1985. 7 college girls spend the weekend at an elegant estate, which begins as a fun...
Not elegant.
Elegant.
Sorry.
Yeah. Estate, which begins as a fun-filled adventure, but ends in a nightmare of gut-wrenching terror. And this trailer, you got to go see this trailer. I had to rewind and rewind, whatever you do with YouTube, back it up, where this guy pushes this woman off the stairs, and I had to watch it like 3 times because it's obviously like a dummy, but it was hilarious looking. Like he just like shoves her down the stairs. And there's like another kid.
It's such a violent shove.
But wasn't there like another kid falling down the stairs?
Yeah, like a kid. He kind of fell into like a basement kind of a thing.
Yeah, it was like there's a lot of
wasn't
stair
as dramatic as that one, but yeah, there's a lot of like you're right, a lot of people falling, and the narrator's like screaming the whole time. He's like yelling at you.
It's like super weird trailer.
Yeah, everything is a yell.
Yeah. This does some good extras as a new 2K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, 28 seconds of violence, an extended making of documentary featuring interviews with writer, director, producer John P. Finnegan, editor, assistant director Tom Rondinella.
Wait, Tim, can you begin again? Sorry, I couldn't resist. I am losing my mind tonight. No one will ever listen to these Dismemberments again.
I am so tired.
Yeah, you must be because you're laughing at these,
I know,
these horrible jokes.
I know. Second assistant camera, second assistant director Bill Pace, actor I almost said Quasimodo.
it looks like it.
Because we had just done Hunchback. Actor Peter Casimano and sound designer John Hodian.
He's only one side. He's only one side of the voice because he's Casimano.
Commentary track with writer, director, producer John P. Finnegan.
Wait. Oh my god. Poor listeners.
They've already turned it off by now.
Yeah, they're done.
Commentary track with editor, assistant director Tom Rondinella and second assistant camera, second assistant director Bill Pace. There's a lot of assistants here. And reversible cover artwork. Let's get to our pick of the week.
He's Bill Pace though. His job actually, assistant director, is make sure they're on schedule.
That's true.
It is. Yeah.
All right, Brian, please tell us about our pick of the week so we can get out of here.
Okay. Yes, we need to leave. This one is a good one. It's by Arrow, a release, so you know it's going to be a fantastic disc of this, and it's Children of the Corn, 4K, 1984. You got Malachi and all the cool group. The one where it's actually about children and corn. And then I kind of borrowed that from Jeff Whitmire because he's been doing this whole retrospective and watching all of them. And like, it's so funny to watch it, see his tweets about that, like to see where he is in the series because he's just like, when are they getting back to children and corn? But anyway, it's a young couple is trapped in a remote town, of course, where a dangerous religious cult of children believe everyone over the age of 18 must be killed. And the original one is just a phenomenal film. Some of the sequels were okay, but the original was so good.
Yeah, I remember, Brian, when I was 9 years old when this came out, 9 or 10 years old. And I clearly still remember this to this day. I remember being in the movie theater and seeing the poster for this and being utterly terrified. I don't know if you remember the old poster where it just has like the eyes looking out from the corn.
Oh, yeah.
And I was terrified of this poster.
Yeah, I mean, cornfields are scary to begin with. And, it's like, think about it. There really aren't, like, there's usually sequences in movies with a cornfield, but this literally is the cornfield is the whole impetus of this movie and this cult that lives in there. And, just the set, like, he who walks behind the rose. I mean, that's just a frightening terminology.
Yeah.
Everything about the short story from Stephen King and the movie is just so phenomenal. Like, it's just purely a good horror film. Now, when I finally did watch it, I mean, it wasn't, I did probably, the illusion to it was more scary than the actual film, but it's still just a great movie and one of my favorites. And I might get this, even though I didn't upgrade to 4K yet, but I want this great special edition.
Yeah.
I would love to have all of them, even though they do get...
They get pretty bad, yeah. I've watched some randomly. I can't say... It's sort of like the Puppet Master series. I bet you I've watched like 2 or 3. I feel like I've seen all of them, but I think I've only watched like a couple of them.
Yeah, I know the characters from this one do come back in one of the later sequels. Like Isaac comes back, I think, but like the actual Isaac years later. So I mean, it's because I think his character was in a couple of the other ones. Like, wasn't he like he had a subtitle like Isaac's Revenge or something?
Yeah. I think it was featured on it.
But I can't remember if he was in it. I get them all confused. In all honesty, there was one I could have sworn was like not 5, but it was actually 6. I kept seeing. I don't know, and it was like the numbers are weird. It's like I think there's one called 666, which might be 6. I don't even know. We'll have to ask Jeff Whitmire. He'll come on and give us his retrospective again. But anyway, so this is a 4K restoration from the original camera negative by Arrow Films, so you know they're giving you a good shot. It's 4K Blu-ray presentation and Dolby version HDR10 compatible. Original lossless stereo and 5.1 audio option. So audio alone, you pretty much get every option you'd want.
Yep.
It's got the subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. And it's got audio commentary. Ready for this, Tim? With horror journalist Justin Beam and Children of the Corn historian Jeff Whitmire. No, just kidding. It's
How do you
John
become
Sullivan.
a Children of the Corn historian?
I know. It's now it might be Jeff Whitmire. He may take over this guy. But right now it's John Sullivan. And so I did a little digging. Justin Beam actually is the author of the book about new and inspiring voices in horror entitled Beam of Fright. So that I've got to pick up that book. I think it's on Amazon. And also John Sullivan, he had the claim to fame by singing Children of the Corn-inspired jazz songs. He was known around those circuits as Cobb Calloway. So at least we finished strong on that one. For some reason, I was cracking myself up while writing that one.
That was pretty good.
Yes, yeah, he is good old Cobb Calloway. Yeah, and so and think about it, how perfect, because Jeff Whitmire is also musical. It's going to be no loss in transition to Children of the Corn historians.
That's right. Yeah.
Audio commentary with director Fritz Kirsch, producer Terrence Kirby, and actors John Franklin and Courtney Gaines. Of course, Courtney Gaines is Malachi, and you shit on my house from Can't Buy Me Love. Harvesting Horror, the making of Children of the Corn retrospective piece featuring the interviews with director Fritz Kirsch and actor. Oh wait, no, it's this different one. It's just the same people. Director Fritz Kirsch and actors John Franklin and Courtney Gaines. It was the '80s, an interview with actress Linda Hamilton. That's got to be a fun little feature there.
Yeah.
Return to Gatlin, featuring featurette revisiting the film's original Iowa shooting locations. Stephen King on a shoestring, an interview with producer Donald Borchers. Stephen King on a shoestring, is that is that going to be like the new Elf on a Shelf? You just put little Stephen King on shoestrings all over the house and you move him around?
It sounds like one of those would be on like one of the Home and Garden channels. Stephen King on a shoestring.
Right? Yeah, like one of those DIY shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how could you make your house like a Stephen King movie on a very small budget?
Today we're gonna recreate the Overlook Hotel for under $500.
This would be the best show ever. Think about that, though. You see, remember that one that did the that backyard show where they made your backyards different? Like the one guy made a Disneyland backyard, and one guy. How cool would that be? Like you literally make. It's like. I mean, obviously it would come to an end because there's only so many Stephen King properties. I mean, there's a lot, so you can go for a while. You can get at least probably 2-3 seasons out of it. How great would that be? As you have someone transform their house into a Stephen King
shrine, like the biggest Stephen King fans. Yeah, you'd have to get super hardcore.
I mean, think of that. You make Annie Wilkes' house, and you just have a lot of weapons, and snow. I mean, come on, how great would that be?
Stephen King on a shoestring. I like it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, we've just come up with that. That's Kickstarter. Remember we used to do our Kickstarters?
Oh yeah, that's our we got to bring back. We got to
get back to that. We're going back on this one, back to the original OG Civil Gore. Cody, write that down for us. You're keeping track of all that great stuff for us. Then Welcome to Gatlin, Sights and Sounds of Children of the Corn, an interview with production designer Craig Stearns and composer Jonathan Elias. Cut again. That's a hockey thing. That's like Patrick Elias spells his name that way. Old Jersey Devil player. Cut from the cornfield. An interview with the actor who played the Blue Man in the fabled Excise
sequence.
Excise sequence. That's not a good year for being the Blue Man because Blue Man Group I guess ended at Universal.
Yeah.
This guy got excised from the Children of the Corn movie. Maybe that's where he formed the Blue Man Group after this.
And then he got exiled from that.
Yeah, oh God, man, it's not. That's why that song came out. I'm blue, da boo dee da doo. Remember? Tim's like, I'm just done. Please end this. Okay, almost over. Theatrical trailer and Disciples of the Crow, a 1983 short film adaptation of Stephen King's short story.
Ooh,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have either. Interesting.
That might be worth the disc alone.
Yeah, I think the Children of the Corn series has kind of people just kind of roll their eyes because. There's been so many sequels and stuff, but
very, very Amityville. Because I saw another Amityville thing coming. It's they're just literally Amityvilling everything.
Yeah, but the original's definitely, like you said, it's definitely worth having.
Yeah, it's definitely good. It's amazing how some series, though, they just, like, something with the name recognition on it, they feel they could just put it everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised they haven't gone, like, City of the Corn, you know, like, or something like that.
It's such a weird property to have that many sequels to, you know? It's just a weird... I'd almost like to see, like, a history of how that, like, a book or something that showed, like, how did all this, like, how did this become a franchise, really? It's just an odd property to become a franchise.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, like, if someone could lend their ear on it. But, you know, actually, you can make it like, aw, shucks, the missing storyline of Children's.
Yes.
No, you know, I was wondering, though, has anyone ever done, like, I know we've been to a million corn maze houses. Oh, by the way, we should not mention one of the best corn maze movies ever, of course, Fear Farm, which we loved. But has there ever been an actual Children of the Corn based haunt?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Or is there just like corn based? Like, I know there's corn stalkers, right?
Yeah,
that was the Cedar
corn
Fair
stalkers. One. Yeah, that's a famous.
But has there ever been like? I don't think Horror Nights ever did an official Children of the Corn one.
And it'd be so easy to do because most of those scare actors are younger anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
And
totally
you know, it adds something to the typical corn maze haunt, you know, that you usually get. That's what I think I loved about Fear Farm. Most of the time, like, the corn maze haunts are just like things where like people jump out of the corn maze. This had like really weird characters and coming out in the corn. Yes, that's what I like. That's what I want to see in a corn maze. Like, so that's why, like, I think a Children of the Corn maze will be good too. Hey, they should do a Fear Farm one too.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Halloween. I want to go to. I'm considering.
I haven't been to a Spirit yet. Have you been to one yet?
I have. I've been. Yeah, I have been to one. They put one inside of a Pier One Imports, of all places. But it was pretty cool. They have a lot of good, some good new animatronics this year. Sam from Trick or Treat, or Burp Smap, as Kim and Kat call him, is really big this year.
He's Burp Smap for good now. I'm sorry, he lost Sam. As much as I love that franchise, Burp Smap is the best.
But he's real big this year. I kind of like to look at the costumes and see like what's the big thing. I think they have Killer Clowns from Outer Space as a big thing this year.
What a property that came back with a vengeance.
I mean, it's crazy.
I don't know if it's because of Universal doing it at Horror Nights, but remember it went from a scare zone to a maze, and people say that house was one of the best houses they've ever had.
Yeah,
they constantly see that. So what a property to come back from the 80s that, like, with like really no recourse to do so. Like, it just came back because what? The house? I know. It was, oh wait, Joe Bob showed it, didn't he?
Maybe, I don't know.
Was it on one of his things?
Possibly. Yeah, I think he did.
Maybe.
I think he did.
I might have been on one of his things. That could have been the real resurgence.
But yeah, it was
Kim
cool.
and Kat, I know, did one episode on it, and their episode was hilarious on it. I mean, what episode do they do that's not hilarious? They're just amazing. So, especially they're overdue for one of those drunk horrors with
yes,
Madame
those are
of
fun.
Horror Paige returning, because Paige just adds like even another element to it that's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to do. I'm overdue for some drinking and a word play there with Kim and Kat. Because if you don't know what I mean by the word play, is because they pick a word that makes you have to drink, and I nearly killed everybody because I threw in the suggestion of gold for leprechaun.
Oh, that was bad. Yes.
Which was probably, of course it was. I mean, great if you wanted to get drunk, bad if you didn't want to. But yeah, those are fun. I highly recommend every time they do one, you have to participate. It's so much fun.
All right, guys. Well, we'll recap this last week of September 28th. We had The Forever Purge, Shadow, Dead Riot from 2006, Midnight from 82, X-Cross from 2007, Psycho Sisters from 1994, A Day of Judgment from 81, The Hunchback of Notre Dame 1923, Girls School Screamers from 1985, and our pick of the week, Arrow's release of Children of the Corn 4K from 1984. That'll wrap us up for September, and get ready for a big October. I haven't looked ahead yet because it's still a little too early to look at the Blu-ray releases, but I'm assuming we're going to have a pretty big October, Brian. Oh,
yeah. I have a feeling this one is going to be a doozy.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to get to that, but we'll give you guys a break, and Tim needs to go to sleep because we thought this was going to be a much shorter one,
yes.
But that one description just went on forever.
That just killed us.
But,
yep. So we will, guys. I don't know. Our schedule's kind of up in the air right now. We're kind of
I mean, we may even push back a week late, even further. for our 200th episode, just to give us some time to really prepare for it, because with the trip in there and we had a couple of extra things in there, we may actually have a skipped week. I'm not sure yet, but you don't actually lose an episode, because a couple of episodes we have by the time you're hearing this, you've just come from the week that had 2 episodes at it, and so you'll get multiple episodes in there. So you probably won't even lose an episode, technically. You'll get a bunch of mini-sodes in there. But when we get back, we may want to put in our recap one while it's still fresh in our head. So that's another reason to push that episode back. But keep following our social media, because we usually will let you know there what their schedule's going to be.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about it, you can always shoot us an email or hit us up on Facebook or whatever, and we'll be sure to answer you.
We will.
All right, guys. We'll see you back here soon.